Zinc is an ordinary gray metal. It is used for covering the metal objects, for example buckets, to avoid rust. Should we talk about it? And is it really that necessary in this age of electronics, atomic energy and jet technology? Let's face it, if aluminum, beryllium, titanium are called metals of the future, what are the prospects for zinc? It turns out the prospects are great. For example, let's take TV sets. On their screen, we can see the events taking place over hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, in the form of living pictures. It is all because an invisible electron beam makes zinc salt to light. The screen of a television tube is covered with zinc salt. And the same zinc salt glows in X-ray machines and many modern devices in physics laboratories. Even the launch of a jet would have been impossible without zinc. To unleash its shafts of its turbines, it requires a very powerful electric motor, starter. Silver zinc batteries give it power. They better withstand high loads than all other types of batteries, and much lighter by weight than lead batteries. And the list of applications of zinc can be continued for a long time. Experts of Kazakhstan's largest producer of non-ferrous metals say. It is also used in medicine. In general, human zinc is particularly important, because the presence of the element is necessary for the existence of any living organism. For example, if you grow plants in the soil, which is completely devoid of zinc, instead of normal shoots, plants will grow only immature rosettes of leaves. There is zinc in our blood. Every 100 grams accounts for only about 1 milligram of zinc, but it is almost all concentrated in red blood cells, erythrocyte. It depends on the formation of new cells and in general the human immune system. And it is loved by women all over the world, say steel workers.
В древнем Китае, к примеру, да, где-то порядка 1500 лет до нашей эры, женщины втирали в кожу лица.
In ancient China, for example, about 1,500 years ago, women rubbed pearls into the skin of the face, which is rich with this element. Why did they do that? They rubbed it into the skin, and thus achieved a healthy look and shine, a beautiful skin. And on this basis, the zinc can be considered, rightly considered, as an element of beauty. In general, zinc is used almost everywhere today. The metal is used in all sectors of the economy, transport, well, practically everywhere.
Экономики, народного хозяйства, транспорта, ну практически везде применяют цинк.
In Kazakhstan, the main producer of this metal is the company Zinc. It is no coincidence that zinc became brand product. It is involved in the company's name. There are factories in Ust-Kamenogorsk and Ritter that produce almost all the zinc in Kazakhstan. According to experts, about 97%. All zinc of Kazakhstan is naturally produced in East Kazakhstan. The main supply of concentrate is provided at the expense of their own concentrator plants. It is Uranovsk mining and processing plant, the major share of this complex. By the way, the mining industry in Uranovsk district in the east of the country has been in existence for over 200 years. In the late 1940s, early 1950s, after massive geological exploration, the unique Uranovsk mine was appreciated in a new way, and the city of Uranovsk was built. Later, Malayevsk plant was discovered. Malayevsk ore has a fairly high reserves. Today, the zinc content in the Malayevsk ore is somewhere at the level of 7.5%. This is relatively high content for ores, which allows a very high yield of work, so to speak. Immediately after the mine ore reaches the Uranovsk mining and processing plant, Immediately after the mine, ore reaches the Uranovsk mining and processing plant. It is here a zinc concentrate from which metallurgists then derive all the useful metals is produced. Generally, concentrating production is a golden link between mountain and metallurgy. Enrichment processes are occurring here that are designed to improve the content of metal for further metallurgical processing. Main task is to get maximum extraction of metals in concentrates of the same name with the highest quality for further metallurgical work. The composition of the concentrator section includes crushing and ore in a heavy suspension portion, grinding and flotation, thickening and filtration. The ore here passes 3 stages of crushing.
Основной цинковый минерал – это сфалерит, основной носитель цинка.
Basic zinc mineral is sphalerite, the main carrier of zinc in the ore, and the quality of zinc concentrates we receive is within 56%. In order to get this kind of quality, a number of technologies was introduced. These are ultra-extraction of concentrates, thermal conditioning of remote zinc flotation in lime and more.
Флотация цинка в известковой среде, ну и многое другое.
Enriched concentrate on the factory is already moved in zinc production. Today's zinc plant is gradually expanding its capacity. It has reached 192,000 tons of zinc per year. Total output of zinc by Kazakh Zinc Holding in the amount of 304,000 tons per year. Of these 304,000 tons, 112,000 accounted for the Hydrometallurgical complex. The rest is produced by Uсть-Каменогорск.
Есть там несколько градаций цинка, да?
There are several grades of zinc. Yes, there is the highest grade of zinc, zinc of the first, second, third grade, and so on. For example, today's zinc of the only highest grade is needed, which we produce here. That is with the minimum of unnecessary impurities, so to speak. Zinc has 99.99% of the zinc content. Shalkar Shaukenov is our main guide in the world of zinc. He understands all the intricacies of the production of his favorite metal. He works as the head of the firing plant. It is under his supervision ore goes through further process. After concentrator, the way of producing the metal. Zinc concentrate is processed in kilns, under the strict supervision of employees of remote control. It is noteworthy that the fuel at this stage is not used. The process occurs, the process of boiling and burning of the concentrate whereby happens due to the sulfur in the concentrate. That is, we do not add fuel here, and do not use other processes of pyroprocessing. In this case, the reaction is exothermic. Through available sulfur in the concentrate, a combustion occurs, and the temperature of combustion happens at 980 degrees. Furthermore, we have to add minor amounts of oxygen. Actually, the whole process of production of zinc is now regarded as one of the most environmentally friendly.
Цинковый завод в плане экологической безопасности является производством.
Zinc smelter, in terms of environmental safety, is a production with 100% closed loop. Products obtained in one shop are starting materials for the subsequent management. All emissions, whether solid or gases, are cleaned in modern local filters of different modifications. Water balance of the plant is a closed circuit, with cleaning and cooling in their own treatment plants. In this case, even waste is used, considering that the plant started to work for the first time in the post-war period in 1947, on the basis of the evacuated town of Ordzhonikidze, enterprise and piles of clinker were saved from the time. This issue was a breakthrough in the field of ecology, and in ensuring the production of additional raw material.
В 1997 году 5 отвалов клинкера. Это промпродукт, который образовывается в процессе.
5 heaps of clinker was formed, an industrial product that is formed in the Wales process of zinc cakes. But Kazakh Zinc decided to use the waste in production and the total elimination of stockpiles. At first, it even caused some skeptical reactions in society. But Kazakh Zinc in practice demonstrated significant achievements in this area. In 2003, the technology of processing clinker was introduced. As a result of more than 1 million tons of clinker, in the dumps there was not a kilogram of the industrial waste left. Today the company has achieved that comprehensive utilization rate of raw materials to the metallurgical industry it develops in highest rate, 96–98%. That corresponds to a better level of development.
Что соответствует лучшему уровню устойчивого развития.
And the exclusion of the feast fire, of the processes associated with heating the metal with fuel, make methods of production of the metal safe. Hydrometallurgy. This is the selection of metals from ores and concentrates with aqueous solutions of certain substances, chemicals, says Bojan Karybekov. He's a senior manager. His job is to monitor the processes via a central computer. All the shops he sees as if in one palm of his hands. This is an operator room. I control all the processes. If there's any problem or issue, I immediately notice it, because we now have automated the process, and therefore the main process going on here is controlled. Each site has its own controller. If there is something wrong, I talk to my colleagues through this speakerphone. I yell out there. If, for example, the oxide is not there or stuck somewhere, and any problem can be seen at the monitor. Here, for example, 3 and 12 tons of ore is here. Now at this moment, carbon monoxide is supplied. This means that the leaching of electrolyte zinc, calcine, which is obtained after firing, happens in the normal mode.
В данный момент мы находимся в цехе выщелачивания цинкового огарка.
At the moment, we're in the shop of zinc calcine leaching. That is the purpose of the shop. What is and where the roasted zinc concentrate goes after firing a zinc calcine? It is in the hull. And there is leaching. Well, in our sense of what is leaching, this selective dissolution of certain metals. After dissolution, zinc extraction and solution goes here. There is thickener, which is right behind me. Thickening and sedimentation happens in them, as well as clarification of the solution. The clarified solution is fed through a partition of 3-step cleaning, where it is cleaned from all impurities. The purified solution of the zinc sulfate passes through press. This is a new generation of equipment. On the zinc plant, there is a step-by-step modernization. We now see how the replacement of obsolete equipment happens. On this side of my right, there is an old press, and left of me there is a new one. That is, this is a gradual replacement, modernization of outdated equipment with new equipment. And due to this, our technical and economic indicators improve through these indicators. But the old technologies also continue to serve the company and bring efficiency. For example, in the melting shop, cathode zinc received after electrolysis, a raw metal, as experts explain, is melted in induction furnaces and bottled in special trays in Kotov machine. By the way, especially I would like to mention this machine. This machine is called a filling machine carousel, and it was invented in the late 1950s by one of the local workers, that is smelter shop worker Kotov. And this machine carousel was named after him. And now it has been used by this particular machine. No one else has something like that. It's all about the effectiveness of the design. Even then, in the 50s, a local metallurgical figured out how to maximize automated process.
До этого разлив происходил ручным способом, но после внедрения вот этой машины, то есть здесь, как вы видите...
Prior to this, spill was performed manually, but after the introduction of this machine that is seen here now, we have the minimum human involvement. That is, the refiner removes foam, then the metal is poured into forms. This mold is brought to them from the bottom water, air, thereby cooling it further if you look at the line of transportation. This machine itself, along the line, is a conveyor line. It packs herself, decomposes, everything is in form. Here it is different. Only one person works here at the smelter.
Она сама себя упаковывает, то есть раскладывает, вот видно сейчас, как вот чушки ложатся. Вот этим она отличается, что здесь всего один человек работает, плавильщик.
Forklift driver takes away completely finished metal and takes it to the warehouse. Then zinc of Kazakhstan is already shipped to customers around the globe. Most of it usually goes to the steel industry. Galvanized metal is transformed into a body of cars. It will be sheets and ribbons, working in difficult hostile environments, the corrosion protection of ships. But this difficult path begins here. And metallurgy in Kazakhstan is rightfully proud that it produces higher metal brand recognized around the world.